Hi guys. Um, I know it is technically not Jin's birthday in Korea anymore. However, I had this thing where, well, I know it's not just me. uh, I pretty much try to celebrate his birthday until it is not his birthday anywhere in the world. So that meaning in my time, which is over in Eastern time in the US, that would be 4 o'clock in the morning, because that is when it will turn midnight over in Hawaii. uh, that and I like to do my own, in a way, celebrations for any of the guys' birthdays at midnight, my time, over in Eastern, because that would mean that it is both their birthdays in Korea and over in Eastern time at the exact same time, and I always get so giddy. um so I ended up making this. Well, I say make, I mean I put together this for Jin's birthday. I kind of created a own little mini universe. All the little, like, I ended up making it a little bit more go with the flow for it's Jin's birthday. So, and knowing Jin, he's very much a go with the flow type of person. And so I did this. I think the most I did, I found these lights, and they're actually perfect because they are rainbow lights and a lot of bit of. I actually didn't realize this until I started actually putting it together. The lights are a little bit more purple over here, and I'll show you better when I actually turn off the lights. And then I think the most part is, so I had this flower that I actually made and it's perfect actually because I crocheted it, and it's actually perfect because gin and flowers. And when I think of like boy with love and in general gin, and so I thought it was perfect. I ended up putting it in here with the lights, and I just overall thought it was perfect. And then I found these the stickers, um and I absolutely, so I'm not really normally a sticker person, um because sometimes I'm trying to close this properly and not go because my but I found these stickers, and normally I'm not a sticker person because I'm don't always, sometimes I don't put them on the right way, and my OCD starts to get triggered, and I'm like trying to make it perfect, and or line it perfect, things like that. If you know OCD, you know. Um, However, these were perfect because they actually they're more like a 3D type of sticker, and they're planets. So, kind of creating the own universe for our Jin. And it makes me so happy. Honestly, I'm thinking about doing this occasionally. I actually, I molded these butterflies. And so occasionally I'm going to actually, and I have 6 butterflies that I'm going to be putting on here. And then it's going to be one at a time to join our Jin. And, so, cause being all, but I think it's going to be, cause so far for now, it's going to be symbolic of just Jin. And then I'm going to add, I'm slowly going to be adding the 6 butterflies. To represent all the guys being with Jin. And like I said, I normally, if you, of course, I felt it was, to do a spoken word poem for Jin, because sometimes I do spoken word, just because it comes in the moment, and sometimes it's in relation to one of the guys or all of them, or in this one, this poem just so happened to speak itself, around, like, on Jin's birthday. So if anyone wants to take a listen, that'd be great. If not, then it's there. And honestly, I do my spoken word, and I do these random vlogs and stuff because as a reminder to myself, and honestly just so I can see progress. Um, and honestly, in a lot of self-reflection lately, because Indigo, wild flower. I'm still going through the process of, that whole experience um, of listening to it and everything. It's just so beautiful. And our June deserves the world. And he's so raw. And definitely reminds me why I gravitated myself to not just him, but BTS as a whole. And because his poetry, either in his solo or him in general in terms of BTS's lyrics and everything like that. Even though like his lyrics mold together with like the other guys and things like that, and when they have some of the others that they work with mold together, but June himself is a gift. And that song, and this video or whenever would go on and on and on if I went through every single solitary song off of that album. I just it's just so amazing, and it deserves all the love. Like, I I cried a lot. A lot. And I love every single moment of it. But at the exact same time, some people, I don't know why I always say that. I say some people. I think it's a habit of mine sometimes. But when I'm watching reactors and just in general, how not just what they say, but I can see how they feel. And some people who may not, who may be new to, BTS as a whole, June as a whole, in general. But, some of them have said that I've watched, because like I said before in other videos, I'm sometimes willing to give, new reactors, new to me, even if their channel's been around for a long time, or their channel is just new, but they're willing to explore new music and everything. Some people have said, like, even if they don't know the music, or they don't know who RM is, who June is, who BTS, like, they've heard the name, but they haven't really, like, felt, they've never reacted, or they never really listened to the music, and they were like, oh my gosh, all the feelings that they feel, even if it's their first time experiencing that, and that speaks volume, and that song hit me like a brick, but not technically in a, bricks sometimes are like that force of nature that had bundled up together, that I didn't know that I was going to meet, or sometimes need. Because, bricks, you can use it to just build things. Because sometimes when people say I was hit by a brick wall, sometimes it just means that you were just stopped abruptly and hit in the face. Or at least that's how in the past I've interpreted when people have said being hit by a brick. But honestly, like, the beauty of saying like flower work versus like a firework, because like a firework is something that I mean, I've credit some of these thoughts to some of the reactors that I watch, and when they're saying something on lines of, fireworks can be beautiful. They go up in the sky, and then they're beautiful but yet frightening, because all the loud sounds. And as someone who, I can observe fireworks from afar, if however, with the loudness and then everything with fireworks, sometimes with me they get too much and I get scared, and that's just how um I'm not, that's just like that effect of fireworks. But being a flower work and wanting to create that, like, that magic, that everything, but being grounded like a flower. That's so beautiful. And something that I truly admire. I mean, June is a poet. I'm not sure which vlog I said this on, but, or I don't know if I actually said it in general. But since I was younger, I've actually written, essays in school dissecting lyrics in terms of poetry. I've done it for a long. I mean, like, I remember the first time I did that. I was in middle school, and then high school. I've done that too, and I've always gotten that luck or something for doing that, because some people didn't see it that way in terms of poetry, in terms of lyrics, and I'm just like, if you look at lyrics, especially if you're looking at the ones that tell truly a story. It could be your life, it could be a situation, it could be in general. And I've always looked at lyrics that way. Always. And in general, June, Namjoon, RM, whatever. I've just, it came full circle for me. It's honestly, like, he is truly a master poet. He is one of the, I honestly say this, sometimes, before I began my journey of studying Korean, I didn't entirely know how to, when I would catch, back then, like a V Live, and now, Weverse Live, catching one of those, because I would not feel confident in parts of the Korean that I have absorbed. But now since I've been studying, and part of it is because of Namjoon, because of RM, because his lyrics are so beautiful. And I know the other guys write lyrics too. I'm just mostly talking about Namjoon right here. But because they're so intricate. And I know that the more I learn, the more beautiful I'll get. And that's just how it's. And honestly, like, I can honestly say, I am so grateful. Because sometimes I just lose myself in one of the most beautiful ways, but at the exact same time, I don't lose myself in a way that I get consumed. And I say it like that because I have a very obsessive personality. But at the exact same time, through some of their lyrics and everything, I've learned to create my own sense of balance. Because they've taught us in a way, or at least they've taught me how to balance certain things in terms of like how much I focus and I appreciate them versus sometimes they're like, well, we like to read, we like to work out, we like to do this, or we like to play video games, or we like to play these sports over here, or go namjooning, or just in general, or sometimes even just, sit back, watch something similar to like Netflix, or um, chill and just watch random things and just, do art and or appreciate art and things like that, and I am get reminded to diversify my mindset in terms of by using kind of the things that they appreciate and with the things that I had already appreciated. For example, I love art. I mean, I love art. I really do. And I love it so much. This year, for my birthday, I went to an an art exhibit by myself. And it was so magical. And I loved it. And oh, it was a Picasso um, art exhibit, and they had all these it was like a 3D experience, and it was so amazing, and just and I was encouraged in a way to um because I've always had a deep appreciation of art, and it does not hurt whatsoever that how much of an art patron Namjoon is. And it's just brought that up even more in my mind to being like, he goes to museums, art exhibits, and all these things by himself because he feels at peace. And I realized through him, to appreciate it myself, by myself. And knowing that's okay. Because before in the past, I've been like, I want to do certain things, but I, it's not that I was scared, but I just didn't know that to go about it by myself. Because I'm like, I want to be able to talk about it with someone. Then I realized that it was okay. And that why not? Why not go to, certain things by myself? If I love it and I appreciate it, then why not? And just, and because I was already like that, I already had this love and appreciation, and then they just reminded me that I, that I do. And in a way, that's why I always say that, BTS gave me back myself, because there are certain things that I loved and I appreciate that I had, in a way, lost connection with because of my mental breakdown, because I got really sick, and because of all this, things that have happened But in a way, as I'm going through everything, I realize that, you know, I accept it. That's one of the things that the guys taught me, especially, and it goes back to, you know, our lovely Jin, our Jin, our moon, going with the flow and just, you know, that talk that he had with Suga, our lovely Minyugi, um, at the end of In the Soup for season 1, where he said something on lines of, you know, about, you know, you don't have to try to be optimistic. You know, not, you don't have to just, you don't have to try to be optimistic, you know, you just have to learn how to live mindlessly. And that in general is just beautiful. And, you know, reminding me that, you know, I never pretend to be an optimistic person. If anything, I'm more, I'm more like Jungi. Jungi has said, you know, he believes more in the power of negative emotions. I've used a lot of how other people have, in the past, have viewed and thought of me in terms of proving them wrong. That's been a good portion of my life. But I realized by what Jin said that, you know, in terms of living mindlessly, in terms of just going with the flow, and sometimes just, you know, doing things in the moment, and just, you know, just doing things now, and just going with it and everything like that. And that's one of the things that Jin has has helped me, like, realize in myself. And just overall in general. And it's just so beautiful because, you know, I mean, yes, he is very beautiful. Inside and out. And, I mean, all 7 of them are, but, you know, in this, my brain is trying to, my brain is either in a Jin mode or it's in a non-Jun mode. It's like a little bit of shug. But that's also because, my, in general, some of my mindsets and some of my, how I process things, lean more towards shug. Um, but with, with, I'll just try to wrap this up a little bit, because, if I just keep going mindlessly, then this will take forever to upload and words. But honestly, a lot of self-reflection lately, and I absolutely, you know, for Jin, for his birthday, and Jin himself, and overall, I just come to understand and accept the fact that, how much he has affected me in all the beautiful ways that he has. Because for me, because I am heavily rapline biased, I know immediately about how, at right now, how specifically June has affected me. And I've come to reflect on the fact that Jin just being Jin, and how his attitude, even though, he has said more than one time that about how he wants to show himself and how he has a strong and wanting to only show us the sides of him that he believes that we would like and appreciate, but at the exact same time, any gems, any gifts that the guys have given us in terms of getting peeks into themselves is beautiful. Especially Jin. Because, as I wasn't there in the beginning in terms of watching him grow and watching guys in general, but from what I have seen, from what I've had, watched and everything, I just smile because I can see myself a little bit in him. And he just makes me laugh, he makes me smile, and, and in general, you feel his heart. And that's one of the things I love about Jin. Truly do. Because honestly, I see it and I feel it. And I just know in my heart how I can connect to someone like that. And the reason why I brought up the fact that I'm heavily rapline biased is because sometimes, and as in other people, when you're heavily biased towards someone or an individual or a small group of people, sometimes you get blinded a little bit in terms of how the others are. And I will honestly say this, so in terms of BTS, in terms of, like I said, being heavily rapline biased, in terms of that, the vocal line wrecked me any chance that they get. So, in terms of that line between remotely being biased and being a wrecker is completely thin. It's and one of the ones that honestly shattered that bias line is Jin. Jin was like, "Hey," and I was like, huh? And but I'm just gonna go back and self-reflect a little bit more. Probably definitely gonna be streaming Wild flower a lot. I've already I've been listening to so today I've been listening a lot to Wildflower, What's Tiny Desk, um, but also Astronaut a lot, and so I've been rotating and just actually rotating between the two. And I'm just here. And as we approach, and I will say this as the last one. I think I was trying to get to this earlier when I was mentioning learning Korean and about the progress and everything. Was I got to watch the Cats the Weavers live for Jin for his birthday, and I was so especially since it made me giggle even more because Jimin was in the chat and the banter and Jimin speaking for a lot of armies being like, no, I want some more. It was just um it was just cute and perfect and so Jin, and how he cut the cake in half by his hand going whoosh. That it made me laugh so hard. And it was exactly what, I really truly was there for. Because he was just so Jen, and because I've been more confident in my process of learning Korean, because there's learning and then there's learning confidently, in which I can be like, okay, I heard that correctly, so this they're talking about this. And sometimes, like, even if I don't know maybe certain uh words in a topic, I can know that they are speaking about X, Y, or Z. And because I've in the past have attempted to learn certain languages, and uh, I would always second guess myself. And yes, I would sometimes be like, "Am I sure I'm hearing that correctly?" And then I would hear like a few words that are mostly used in that topic or that type of conversation, and I'm just like, "Okay, I did," and I would be like, "Yay!" So sometimes I am just like learning that part, and it just made me smile and made me so happy that I got to see that Weavers live, and also because since I was in LA last year during SoFi, I wasn't there for his actual the birthday concert. However, since I got to be a part of the experience of creating the gin signs that were used in his birthday concert, because I was there the concert before his birthday, right before his birthday, and I was helping to make those signs. I felt like even if I wasn't there in person, I was there, because I that really made me happy. And anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I've already said that before, but But anyways, stream Indigo. Stream it. And also stream Astronaut. Stream Indigo. Wildflower. Indigo. Astronaut. So before I keep blabbing on, and this is gonna end up being way longer than it already is, I'm gonna go. And me and my lovely universe here. Jin. Jin. We're gonna go, and this will be good. Stream. And also, stay you. And, but I